So hello my dear students, in C programming tutorials, in my previous video I have discussed a very important topic, and the topic was the compilation and execution of a C program. Okay, now today we are going to discuss another important topic, and the name of the topic is constants in C programming. Now what is the definition of a constant? So any unchanged value during the execution of the program, whose value is not getting changed, whose value is not getting updated, or whose value is remain same during the execution of the program, it is not changed at all. So this is called a constant. Now in C programming, the constants can be broadly classified into two different categories. The number one is numeric constant. Numeric constant, and another one is the string or character constant. String or character constant. So these are the main two categories of constants in C language. Now the numeric constant can again be classified into two different categories. The number one is integer constant. Integer constant, and another one is the real or floating point constant. Okay, now this integer constant, what is an integer constant? Any whole number, signed or unsigned whole number, is called an integer constant. Now integer constant can again be classified into three different categories. The number one is decimal. Now what is decimal? Decimal is a number system where the base is 10. Now what is the base of a number system? The base means how many different numbers are used in a particular number system. So since the decimal number system, we use 10 different numbers starting from 0 to 9. So these 10 different numbers are used in decimal number system. That's why the base of this decimal number system is 10. Okay, so with these numbers 0 and 9, you can form any integer number expressed in decimal number system. Okay, for example, it is 25, then minus 5, then plus 37, like that. So these are the examples of the decimal number system. Now here you look at the first one. The first number is not associated with sign, so it is an unsigned integer number. Similarly, this is associated with the minus symbol, it is minus 5, and this 37 is associated with a plus symbol. So these two numbers, the 5 and 37, is associated with a sign. So that's why these last two are called signed integer number, and the first one is called unsigned integer number. Okay, now the next one is the octal number. Octal. So oct means 8. So in octal number system, all the numbers are represented with 8 different numbers, all the numbers. So since in this number system, octal number system, any number can be represented by 8 different numbers, so that's why its base is 8. So octal number system base is 8, and the numbers which are used in this octal number system is from 0 to 7. These 8 numbers are used. Okay, now what are the examples of octal number system? So octal number actually starts with 0. So for example 0, 6. So this is an example of an octal number. It starts with 0. Okay, now it is an unsigned octal number. Similarly, if we write minus 0, 1, 3, So this is an signed octal number. Similarly, plus 0 to 7. So this is another signed octal number. So here in these two numbers we are using the sign along with the numbers. So these two are signed octal numbers, and this one is not associated with sign. So this is called unsigned octal number. Okay. Now the next one or the last one is hexadecimal. Hexadecimal number system. Now in hexadecimal number system we use 16 different numbers. With the help of these 16 different numbers, any number in this hexadecimal number system can be represented. Since the 16 different numbers are used in that particular number system, that's why the base of this hexadecimal number system is 16. So the base is 16 for hexadecimal number system. And what are the different numbers are used? So 16 different numbers are used. So the first 10, that is 0 to 9, is exactly same as that of the decimal number system, but it differs with the last 6 numbers. And what are those last 6 numbers? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. So this 10 is represented by capital A, 11 will be represented by capital B, then 12 will be represented by capital C, 13 will be represented by capital D, 14 will be represented by capital E, and 15, the last number, will be represented by capital F. So these are the 16 different numbers. 0 to 9, first 10 numbers is exactly same as that of the decimal number system, and the rest 6 numbers starting from 0 to 15 will be represented by capital A, B, C, D, E and F respectively. Okay, so these all three, decimal number system, octal number system and hexadecimal number system, falls under the integer constant category. Now the another type of numeric constant is real or floating point constant. Now what is real number? Real number is any signed or unsigned number with fractional part. So if any number has its fractional part, then this number is a real number. Okay. Now for example, the real number example is minus 0.592. So you can see the fractional part is there. Similarly 7.135. So this is another real number or floating point number. This is the integer part, this is the decimal point, and this is the fractional part. Okay, so this is another real number. Now the real number can be represented, it can be represented with two different forms. The number one is decimal form, and the second one is exponential form, Okay, now what is decimal form? The example I have given. For example, the first example, minus 0.592. So you can check that all the digits are used or belongs to the range 0 to 9. So this is in decimal number form. Okay, similarly, the second example that I have given here, so this is 7.135. It is also a real number represented in decimal form. So the first one is associated with a sign. So this is a signed real number, and this one, the last one, is not associated with any sign. So this is called unsigned real number. Okay. Now what is exponential form? So exponential form, in exponential form, it can be represented like that. For example, minus 1.75, then E11. So here E stands for exponential. Now how this number can be represented? It simply means that it is minus 1.75, this part, and E11 means it is multiplied by 10 to the power 11. So whichever number comes after E, that will be raised to the power of 10. Okay, so minus 1.75 E11 simply means that minus 1.75. So this part you will write first. Okay, then multiplied by 10 to the power 11. So whatever value will come after e, that will be raised to the power of 11. Okay, so this is a real number represented in exponential form. Similarly, suppose another number is like that, plus 2.97 e minus 12. So another real number. So it means that plus, so the first part you have to take this part plus, what is the number, 2.97, and then e minus 12 means this minus 12 will be raised to the power of 10. So multiplied by 10 to the power minus 12. So these are the representation of a real number in exponential form. So where e is there and e stands for exponential, and these are the real numbers, two real numbers. The first one is the signed real numbers associated with the sign, and the second one is an unsigned real number represented in decimal form. So these are the basically numeric constants, and the next category is string or character constant. Now what is a character constant? Now this string or character constant can again be classified into two different categories. The first one is the single character constant. Single character constant. Now what is single character constant? That means if any character or digits or letters or special symbol is enclosed with a single apostrophe, okay, that will be the example of a single character constant. For example, single quotation small a, or single quotation capital A, or single quotation for example 1, or single quotation this dollar symbol. So all these characters or digits or special symbol are enclosed with a single quotation. So if anything is quoted with single quotation, enclosed with a single quotation, that will be treated as a character. Now look at this character 1. So here it is not a numeric value, it is a character. So here, since it is not a numeric value, so definitely this one will not be equals to the character 1. So this is a numeric digits and this is a character. So this is done. So this is very important. Please keep these things in your mind. Okay, the next category of character constant is string of character constant. Okay, string of character constant. Okay, now what is the example of that? From the name you can easily understand that string of character means it is a collection of sub characters, it is a sequence of characters. So if when we have to represent a sequence of characters or collection of characters, it has to be enclosed with a double quotation. Okay, for example, double quotation add or double quotation sum. So you can see it is a collection of characters. Okay, so this is a string of characters and it has to be enclosed with a double quotation. So this is the example of string of character constant. So my dear students, these are the different categories of constants actually used in C language, in C programming. So it is broadly classified into two categories, numeric constant and string constant. Now numeric constant are two types, integer constant and real or floating point constant. Integer type constant are three types, that is decimal, octal and hexadecimal, and floating point constant can be represented with decimal form and exponential form. And the string constant or character constant are two types, single character constant, it is enclosed with a single quotation, and a string of character constant, that is if more than one characters are there, then it has to be enclosed with a double quotation. So this is called string of character constant. So my dear students, I hope that you have understood this topic very clearly. Even after, if you have any kind of doubt, if you have any kind of queries, so you please put your valuable questions or suggestion in the comment box so that I can give an answer on that. Okay, so thanks for watching. Please take care. Have a nice day. Thank you.